Hey, it's Mrs. Greno, and I am in Module 1 here with Algebra 1. So I wanted to just go over in general the modules setup and then just get you started here on the right foot in terms of taking notes. So at this point, you've gone through the welcome folder, you understand the math help, you're ready to start your first lesson. Big thing, remember the two things that we say you need is make sure you have a math notebook just for math, just for algebra, and you've gotten a printed copy of the lesson summary packet in the welcome folder. So you're printing out all those pages, letting me know if you are having any problems. Again, when it comes to that first DBA, discussion-based assessment, I'm going to ask you that question. And staple that and put that right in your notebook. So those are your two key things, and those are the two key things you can also bring with you into any test or final exam. As we look in each module, the setup is actually very similar throughout it. So here is module 1. So here's your mission 1, right? Where Mission Impossible is Algebra Foundations. So we're going to pull in some of the other math that you did, make sure you're prepared kind of with those basic foundations before we jump into any bigger ideas. The beginning of every module, there is a link for just support videos. So it's a Google Doc here that has basically matched up with every single lesson. So lesson here 1 represents 1.01. So you can see there's 4 of them here. Here's with 2, so there's a bunch for 1.02. So do you have to watch all these videos? Definitely not. So again, you're preparing for whatever you need to be successful on the assessments, which is the assignments, and then the quizzes and the tests, so that you're grabbing onto everything you need here in Module 1. So come through these after you've maybe read through a lesson and taken your own notes. Watching these. Maybe you submit an assignment, you get a problem wrong, you're going to make corrections or resubmit, coming back to here. So really holding yourself accountable that really everything here you're able to do. You know, that you can evaluate an expression with one variable, that you can solve literal equations. You know, what does that mean, right? What does that even mean, literal equations? Understanding what that means, that you can solve equations with variables on both sides. In the end, that's what you can do before you move on, and knowing that you have this support. So again, this is in every module, the first thing in each module or mission folder, okay? Once you go to that, you're going to come up to a lesson. So the lessons are set up similarly where, again, the pages may vary. And actually, I go through a little mini lesson with 1.02 specifically going through that lesson. But notice again that there are 8 pages in it, so you want to make sure that you're seeing all 8 pages. Make sure that you're playing, right? This would be a good thing now to look at your lesson summary packet. What's already on that lesson summary? And what maybe do I want to add in my notebook, whether it be an example or the practice problems. But reading through everything here, and again, just reviewing whether you've seen this or maybe you haven't mastered this yet, that you're giving yourself that opportunity to kind of interact and see everything and jot some stuff down. These essential questions at the bottom don't need to be answered. They're kind of guiding questions for you. Sometimes students get confused and think that's the assignment. But again, this is what you should be able to answer at the end. Okay, so working through that. As you work through all the pages, each lesson, you can go through, give it a second to load. And again, playing the video, looking at these different steps, right, as you work through it, doing these try it ones. So it's really important to get that kind of immediate feedback for yourself to make sure that you understand it. Again, if you understand something, this is where you have that flexibility of pace, right? You have flexibility of pace, of time, right? That type of thing when you work on this course, how fast you work on it. So use that to kind of guide you through the lesson. Please do not just go to the assignment, try the assignment, and then backtrack to the lesson. You want to make sure that you've seen everything ahead of time. So again, preparing for it. As you work through all the lesson pages, as you get to the end of every lesson, again, the setup is similar. You're going to have practice problems. So take your time. Again, this is formative. This is not going to be part of your grade. So that's the great part of it, is that there's no risk. Okay, you just get that immediate feedback, whether it's right or wrong. So just working through those and understanding here, you have multiple pages, right? You can answer, here's questions 1 through 4, and going all the way through. As you get to the end, you will see this is actually what's on the lesson summary. So this is what I pulled into the lesson summary packet. So you already have this, right? So obviously make sure you read it and understand it. And then you're going to work through your assignment. So again, you don't need to print this because you already have the lesson summary packet. So again, every lesson is like this. So it's nice that you have that structure. And here's your assignment. Read through each section of this lesson, which you would have done already. Work through the practice problems, which you would have done already. Make sure that you can, the essential questions, you kind of understand, have some type of an answer for it. Don't need to answer them though. And basically you have to do the submit of whatever assignment is. So 1.01 is an assignment that you just can open up and start, okay? Versus, let me show you this. So when you start 1.01, you go to that assignment, you hit start, and it's multiple choice. So a lot of these are multiple choice. So working through those in your notebook. So what I would do is write in my notebook after my lessons, 1.01, kind of do your work in your notebook. So if you did need to go back and resubmit and get number 5 wrong, you can go back and look at your work and kind of look at the correct answer, okay? These you need to fill in the blank. These you have to match. So that's the gist of 1.01. The difference as you look through these assignments, and I'll go back to kind of where I have all of Module 1 here, you can see the question mark are ones like that where the assignment is there for you. As you kind of scroll down here, you're going to notice that besides the lesson, you also have discussion-based assessment where you can turn something in. And you'll have your module tests, which are 2 parts. So as you finish up and work through Module 6, reminder that your quizzes, and this is for each module, can only be accessed once. So when you take a quiz, I want you to be ready for it, okay? I want you to be prepared. Assignments, you want to resubmit an assignment. You want to make corrections on an assignment. If I haven't put an arrow, you want one, text me, email me. I definitely want you to make corrections on it from that standpoint. Along with the quiz, which you can only access once, is also your test. So these 2 tests down here, and I'll remind you of that when I do the module discussion-based assessment. You just want to be ready to take it, and you want to be able to finish it in one sitting. So you don't want to do like 2 questions, save it, and that. You want to finish it completely. This part of the test, part 1, again, for every module, is multiple choice. Part 2 is open-ended questions. So 3 to 5 questions in which you will type or explain your answers out. So those 2 tests together, added together, give you your points for your test score from that standpoint. Okay, so that's Module 1 in a jiffy for Mission 1 that you need to accomplish. So hopefully that at least gets you started and get you kind of in that rhythm. As you work through the other modules, we'll give you more as you jump into Modules 2, 3, 4, and 5. A little bit more probably content help, algebra help as you get into those. But use Module 1 here to just set the tone for your note taking and how you're going to strategically kind of work through each lesson to assignment all the way up to that DBA and your tests.